My beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when the people you thought would always be there aren't. A friend drifts away, a loved one is taken by death, or the very people you trusted most let you down. You walk through the noise of the world, but inside it feels painfully silent. You begin to wonder who will understand you, who will stay with you through every chapter, not just the happy ones, but the messy, uncertain, and difficult ones too. My dear brothers and sisters, there is one who has never left you. He was there when you took your first breath, and he will be there when you take your last. He watched over you when you were a helpless child, guided you when you were lost, and carried you through storms you didn't think you could survive. Even in your loneliest moments, when no one knew the tears you cried at night, he knew every drop. Imagine walking through life with the certainty that you are never truly alone, that your companion is closer to you than your own jugular vein, that he knows the words you cannot say and the thoughts you cannot share. That is not just a comfort, it is a lifeline, and it is yours right now if you choose to hold on to it. This is the truth that can turn fear into courage, despair into hope, and emptiness into peace. Allah is your forever companion, and He will never let go of you. There will be times in life when the people we thought would stay by our side begin to drift away. Sometimes it happens slowly. A friend stops calling, a family member grows distant, a companion moves on to other priorities. Other times it happens suddenly, a betrayal you never expected, a death that rips someone from your life in an instant, a change in circumstances that pulls you apart from those you love. In those moments, the loneliness can feel like a heavy blanket pressing down on your heart. You start to wonder who will be there for you when life gets hard, who will stand by you when the world turns cold, who will still care when your mistakes and flaws are laid bare. The truth is, human companionship is limited by nature. People are bound by their own needs, weaknesses, and circumstances. They may love you deeply, but still fail you at times. They may want to support you, but be unable to, because they are dealing with their own struggles. They may promise to be there forever, but the reality of life is that no one can physically remain by your side forever. Illness, distance, misunderstandings, and even death can separate you from the people you hold dearest. It is part of the test of this world that no relationship with creation is completely permanent or perfect, but in the midst of that reality there is one who has never left you for a single moment. From the time you were a silent soul in your mother's womb, he was with you. When you took your first unsteady breaths as a newborn, he sustained you. When you stumbled as a child and scraped your knees, when you cried in secret because of fears you couldn't explain, when you felt lost in the crowd and invisible to the world, he saw you, heard you, and knew you better than you knew yourself. Even in moments when you forgot him, he did not forget you. Even when you walked away from him, he still provided for you, protected you, and gave you countless chances to return. There is a quiet, unshakable comfort in knowing that the one who controls the universe is the same one who watches over your every step. His companionship does not depend on your mood, your social circle, or your circumstances. You don't need to book an appointment to speak to him. You don't need to worry about being judged unfairly or misunderstood. He knows the words you cannot say, the wounds you hide, the thoughts that keep you awake at night. He knows the version of you that no one else has ever seen, and he still loves you enough to guide you, forgive you, and lift you when you fall. Life will always have moments where you feel the absence of people, but those moments are often the ones that awaken you to the presence of Allah. Sometimes he allows people to leave so that you will turn your heart fully toward him, free from the distractions of relying on others. Sometimes he removes the noise so you can hear his guidance more clearly. The pain of losing someone's companionship can become the door through which you discover the sweetness of his companionship, a sweetness that does not fade with time, that does not waver with circumstance, and that no force on earth can take away from you from the moment you open your eyes in the morning until you close them at night. There is one who never leaves your side. In times of joy, he is there, showering you with blessings you recognize and countless others you do not. In times of difficulty, he is there, holding your heart steady even when everything around you feels uncertain. The seasons of life will change. There will be moments when the sun feels warm on your face, and moments when the storm clouds block every trace of light. But through them all, his presence is constant. People may stand with you in one season and disappear in the next. Circumstances may lift you up one day and bring you down the next, but his companionship is not like human companionship. It is not bound by mood, convenience, or proximity. In moments when your heart is heavy and your hands feel empty, he is closer than the pulse in your neck, knowing every unspoken word and every hidden tear. When you walk into a room full of people, but still feel invisible, he sees you. When you laugh outwardly while your heart quietly aches, he knows. When you are unsure which path to take, he guides you in ways you may not even realize until much later. His companionship is not just a presence. It is an active care, a constant attention to your every need, physical and spiritual. It is easy to forget this when life is busy, when the demands of work, family, and personal responsibilities crowd your mind. You might begin to lean more on the people around you than on him, assuming that your sense of security depends on how others treat you. But then something happens, a misunderstanding, a betrayal, a sudden absence, that reminds you of the fragility of human relationships. It is in those moments when others cannot or will not stand beside you that you discover the depth of his companionship. He does not withdraw when you are at your lowest. He does not grow impatient when you repeat the same prayer over and over. He does not keep a record of your past mistakes to throw back at you when you come to him again. Through every chapter of your life, his companionship is steady. When you were a child, he guided the hands that fed you and clothed you. When you were a teenager searching for your place in the world, he guarded you from dangers you could not see. When you faced heartbreak, he softened the blow in ways that allowed you to heal. When you succeeded, he protected you from arrogance and reminded you to be grateful. Even the moments you thought were coincidences, the unexpected help, the narrow escape, the sudden clarity, were not accidents. They were signs of his constant care. This companionship is not just for times of hardship. It is for every breath you take. It is there in the quiet moments of reflection, in the laughter shared with loved ones, in the peace you feel when you do something purely for his sake. It is there in the times you remember him, and in the times you forget him, though the sweetness of it is most deeply felt when you turn your heart fully toward him, and acknowledge that every moment of your life has been lived under his watchful mercy. There is a unique comfort in knowing that no matter what you go through, you have someone to turn to who will never misunderstand you, never grow tired of you, and never walk away. This is the companionship of Allah, and it is unlike anything else you will ever experience. People, even those who love you, have limits. They can listen to your problems, but they cannot truly carry your pain. They can encourage you, but they cannot always fix what is broken inside you. They can stand beside you for a while, but eventually they must tend to their own lives. But Allah's companionship is not bound by these limits. He is with you in the quiet hours when no one answers your calls, in the late night moments when you wipe away tears alone, in the restless mornings when you feel the weight of a new day pressing down on you before it even begins. When you remember him in these moments, when you call out to him with sincerity, the heart begins to feel lighter. His companionship is not just about being present. It is about actively guiding, protecting, and strengthening you from within. In times of hardship, remembering him can turn fear into patience, confusion into clarity, and despair into hope. It is not always that the situation changes instantly, but your heart changes in a way that makes you able to endure and see things differently. This is why those who are closest to Allah often have a calmness in their eyes even in the midst of storms. They know they are not facing anything alone. This connection is not limited to moments of pain. In times of joy, remembering Allah makes your happiness deeper and purer because you recognize the source of every blessing. When you eat, you remember that it is He who provided the food. When you succeed, you remember it is He who gave you the ability and opportunity. This awareness turns everyday experiences into moments of worship and gratitude. Instead of clinging to people for validation, you begin to turn to Allah